We're back! Episode 19, one episode away from the Big 20. Right here, Slam Pigs Cruise Control. We have come and gone from another week. Neville is officially gone, but you know who's not gone? The man with the plan, the man right by my side. It's not Brian Kendrick, the harbinger of Hot Pockets, the crown prince of pizzerias, the owner of Logie's Hoagies, Logan Myers. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back.
What an introduction that was.
Thank you.
I actually like that.
All
Thank you,
permissions,
Travis.
all permissions from Mike the Slam Pig, from regular Slam Pig, to steal his gimmick and do the intro tonight for you, Logan.
Well, thank you, part-time Brock Lesnar Michael. Thank you.
Oh. Logan, how you been? How was your week, and where can everybody check you out?
I've had a wonderful week. My health is getting better. I'm happy. I'm happy jolly. You guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. Check me out on Future Wrestling Podcast with Broski. On Future Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and enjoy.
All right.
We're not alone, Travis.
We are not alone. Usually, we have a member for the Pro Wrestling Roundtable on YouTube. Subscribe, all the good stuff. But not the usual member, do we, Logan? Another member. Somebody called out sick.
Yeah, see, Colin, first things first. You're sick. You just got a cold. Grow some balls and get on the show. I came on when I had health issues with my heart. Eat those words.
And all
Damn, dude. Damn,
another
dude.
guy. We have, once again, James Herbert the Pervert, whatever you want to call him. He is back on Slam Pigs Cruise Control. Thank you for coming on, Colin. I'm Colin. See, you're going to be Colin for the night. Colin.
Wow.
You actually might be relevant now, Colin. See, there you go. James, welcome aboard to the podcast. Where can they check you out, and how have you been?
I've been doing good. You guys can check me out here on YouTube at jhebertside95. That's where the Pro Wrestling Roundtable happens every week, right there on YouTube.com. You can also check out my custom theme and Titantron works, as well as other people's Titantron works that I help try to get the name out there. You could also check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling. You could also check out the Aftershock Corner at Wrestling Fortune 44 on YouTube. Both Weymouth Youth Wrestling on YouTube as well. And last but certainly not least, make sure you subscribe to the Cruise Control podcast, because I like to promote everything that I do here.
Hey, man, welcome back to the show. Good to have you back. Spontaneous getting you on tonight.
Yes.
Talked to you about an hour ago, but always a pleasure. And forget about Cisco and Ebert. Your main man's James Hebert, guys. Get over there, subscribe, all that good stuff like he said. And as always, follow me on Twitter at TheAbickyTMD. Check out the reset button, Slam Pigs Podcast, this, Cruise Control. And check me out on Kayfabe today at first thing in the morning on YouTube. Hit the subscribe over there with Broski. Speaking of Michael real quick, let's get to a little in-house news. Michael and you did a little debate on Future Wrestling Podcast. That episode actually dropped today. It was awesome to hear just you guys for once on the show. Good job, man. I enjoyed it. And guys, give it a check that out, definitely. Logan, I'm proud of you, man. Good work.
What's up with Broski? He didn't do the show?
He was going through some issues, personal issues. So,
fair enough.
But I'm also, it's a debut of a brand new show on Future Wrestling Podcast where I do a debate with a special guest, and Michael was the first one to come on. Michael and me for the first time on a podcast was weird as hell.
But you guys did it. You nailed it, in my opinion. And like I said, get over there, check it out. And speaking of Michael, one more thing. Unfortunately, guys, in real life, shit does happen. And unfortunately, due to a new work schedule for Mike the Slam Pig, he's not going to be able to make our live post shows anymore. But it's all right. We've always got this guy right here. Logan Myers will be filling in from now on, our new live show correspondent right here on Slam Pigs. And always guests like James, like this Sunday, Lee, like Broski. So many more to come on. So look for very special guests each and every post show with myself and Logan. But Michael will most definitely be here for the regular show. He's not going anywhere, have no fear. But gentlemen, not much happening on 205 Live this week for me. Kind of a stagnant show.
Well, I just wanted to say real quick, Travis, that I am glad to be coming on as the new correspondent of the Slam Pigs podcast for Michael. I can't wait for Survivor Series. I know we have a good guest coming on that night as well.
We do. This Sunday, guys, Michael's birthday is actually his last post show. Couldn't have timed that any better. Lee, our very
there you
first
go.
guest from the UK 2 years ago. Lee's coming back. It's going to be good to hear from him. Good to hear those guys go at it. And Logan will be there as well. So make sure to tune in immediately after TLC this Sunday. And yeah,
TLC.
yes, sir.
And then don't forget Survivor Series. I don't know if we're still announcing that Tonka's going to be on, correct?
Big time news for yes. I
Ooh.
announced it this other night on Slam Pigs. Tonka from Grapple Vision, Tonka Saul will be on our Survivor Series post show in a month. So check that out. And it looks like
Wait.
we didn't get to talk about SmackDown, and like I said, 2 of 5 was lackluster this week. So I want to talk about SmackDown 2, if you don't mind, because I got James on. Might as well, and I know Logan, your game. They're really going with this Jinder and Brock. But if anything, guys, before I let you guys have the floor, at least they're going in the direction of Styles, which should have happened a month ago, in my opinion, for the title again, to make it seem fucking relevant. But got to get through that Jinder and Brock roadblock first. But guys, your thoughts on this?
Before we say anything, I would like to be on the Survivor Series post show. I originally the funny thing is, I was originally going to do an entire gender boycott. Ironically, I guess this will kind of lead into the conversation, because my whole idea for the original boycott was to basically not watch anything he does, but to also not watch any pay-per-view that he is on as champion. But at this point, I think I'm going to make an exception for the Big Four. But the SmackDown pay-per-views, I'm probably not watching anymore because I can't fucking stand him. So, yeah, that kind of leads into that discussion. I think it's fucking ridiculous that he's champion, and I can't believe he's going up against Jinder. And no one's going to buy that as a main event.
No.
I don't understand, oh, well, we have Jinder and we have this new guy, Jinder. Yeah, a guy who was like fucking jobber the same fucking year, and all of a sudden you made the champion. This dude should be squashed like nobody's business against Brock. And people, here's the thing. It's not going to attract hardcores because they're afraid he's going to lose, because you got the fucking Singh brothers out there fiddling his goddamn balls all day long, probably injecting the testosterone within his body. And then you got freaking you got casual fans who aren't gonna buy the fact that Jinder is gonna beat fucking Lesnar. And even if he does, it's stupid. You're not winning in either way here. It's an absolutely dumb business decision on every level. You don't attract hardcores, you don't attract casuals, and it's just gonna I feel like it's gonna be another bad attendance issue again because of this shit.
I still feel like Jinder goes over. In a chicken shit way, of course. Somehow it's going to lead to an angle with Brock, whoever's going to call us. But I still feel like Jinder's going over.
Of course he is.
It's not going to hurt Brock to eat this pin at all. Nothing will, really.
My
it better be
cents...
after like 5 Colossus, by the way, not 1 Colossus. God, please. Fucking hell.
Could you imagine?
I can actually imagine that. My 2 cents is shout out to Broski for and Michael because on the next Future Wrestling Podcast show, me and Eric will be doing a very brand new segment called Bold Predictions. And there's an actual bold prediction that I want to get off my chest, and I was going to save it for Future Wrestling, but I'm going to do it here. I think in the long run, the WWE is actually going to outsmart themselves and us and do a swerve. We're on a SmackDown Live before Survivor Series. AJ Styles will win the WWE Championship from Jinder Mahal and will challenge Brock Lesnar instead of Jinder. That's my bold prediction right now.
Is that
guarantee you it will happen at Starrcade, though. And they will still have a half-empty house because they are all thinking it's going to be Jinder. I guarantee it.
If that scenario happens, is that smart business-wise for one of your big four to do a dream match? Let's flat out say it. One of my dream matches left is Brock and AJ for the title. Yes, Brock and AJ. Yes, yeah. Brock and AJ for anything, not a title. Excuse me. Is that enough time? That would be rushed. That I would want to build that up more.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very big dream match scenario. I mean, at this point, they're a reaction. They go by reaction, which is dumb because that's how they think they'll get their income when clearly it's not, because otherwise you wouldn't have cut fucking costs and continue to cut costs. So I think it's just their mentality. I don't know why it's their mentality, but it is their mentality. They are doing. Logan could very well be right on the money here. Either way, I see this going. I think it's a mistake.
I think a problem with wrestling in general, especially big, huge, the biggest company, WWE, they use a lot of test groups, focus groups too, to
Oh
see.
yeah.
They do, and you don't hear a lot about that, but that definitely goes on in all forms of entertainment.
Yep.
That is not a good route to go, in my opinion, either. I think the best way, if you're booking any wrestling show, is to sit back, look at the pieces of the puzzle you place together, and you have a card, right? And then you just watch it as a fan. If you're liking it, but you got to be smart enough while watching it to see it from different demographics and perspectives. And I feel like all three of us on this show do that, and that's why we know our shit. Not to toot our own horn like Arn Anderson, but it's not that fucking hard. You know the
Yep.
difference between a match that's killing it and a match that's a pure runny shits. It's not hard. It's organic feeling.
Yep.
And nothing from gender has for me given that organic feel of wow, the crowd's really into this. Name one fucking match that he's been in.
He is so bland. Not even is he bland in the ring. He's bland on the microphone too. Like everyone wants to say, "Oh, his character is developed." No, it fucking hasn't. What? It's developed from fucking less decent mic skills to even lesser decent mic skills because he's not fucking ready. That's about all it's good for.
I mean, he could be ready. The problem is everything he's been given fed are total 100% written promos. You can tell when a guy's reading from a script and memorizing it in his head when he's cutting
No,
it.
it's definitely a problem. Not even just that too, right? They said they did this whole thing for the Indian tour, which by the way, great job doing it for the Indian tour that last 2 fucking days.
It did nothing.
But yeah, right. But they have this fucking thing, right, where they build up for this Indian tour. Here's the problem: they fucking hate gender because now, especially because of the fucking racist shit that the fucking writers gave them. Like they actually don't like him. Like, not that it even made that much of a difference anyway. But now there's not anybody that does like him in India. So they completely went ass backwards with this approach, and now it's like, what do you have now? You have no excuse to keep this guy as your champion.
Yeah.
No one likes him. No one likes him. No one in India likes him. No one in UK likes him. No one in North America likes him. No one in the world likes him. Very few do, and either they genuinely like him, which is whatever, because they like his work ethic, even though there's some debate about that, and that's a whole other topic. But the other reason they're like him, quote unquote, is because they treat him like a fucking meme.
Well,
your season starts now.
What was that?
Our season has started now. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
I will say, I think another big one, Logan, is something that nobody wants to fucking come out and say. WWE, they live in their own bubble. They always have, they always will, right? They assume that one of the biggest populations in the entire world, in India, don't have the internet. They know he's not really Indian. They know he's Canadian. All you have to do is Wikipedia the fucking man to learn that he's a Canadian. And Indian people probably don't take that too fucking kindly in their eyes. So that's probably another reason it hasn't done anything for business. It's like when you had the Von Erichs, right? They were so over in Texas. And then Lance Von Erich came along. Problem was, Lance Von Erich's name was Kevin Vaughn, and he wasn't a fucking Von Erich, and the fans knew it. And it ate the character alive so much as they had to fire him. The fans were that mad. I think that's another big reason people don't want to come out and say, Logan. Indian people aren't stupid, WWE. Shit.
No, they're not stupid. And here's the crazy part for me: the fans aren't stupid, and I'm not stupid as well. What promo has Jinder Mahal actually given the audience that they will remember a racist one?
I can answer that question for you. I have the $1 million answer. None.
Besides,
I just said
the only one that you can remember they had to apologize for. That's how bad it's been.
Exactly. And here's another thing. You've given him opportunity after opportunity to get that gimmick over. You've given him chances after chance to give us a reason to care, and there has been no reason whatsoever that I should even give a flying fuck about Jinder Mahal.
This kind of reminds me in a way of JBL back in the day where they were so determined to get that new heel character over. The difference is JBL had some fucking charisma, You hate
Yeah,
the man, love
and
the
he
man.
could
He did.
actually, yeah, he actually could generate heat too. That's the difference with JBL and him. This guy can't generate heat to save his fucking life. Never mind draw a fucking full house.
And that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to actually bring up JBL at the very top of the show when we started talking about gender, James, and you're like, he went from a jobber to this. And I think sometimes that can work. Point in case JBL, it worked for him. I wouldn't say he was a flat out jobber. He was a
He
tag
wasn't
guy.
even. Well, that's the difference, though. He wasn't a flat out jobber, and he didn't look like a fucking dickhead that kept losing all the time.
But he
That's
did
the
have that little
biggest difference,
asterisk
too.
next to his name of Justin Hawk Bradshaw that he had to live with, though. But you
That's
had to
it.
dig deep to know about that for the man at the time. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. But the thing is, like, people knew Bradshaw before he went to this new persona as APA. It's not like this dude was a flash in the pan. Like, he was pretty well known in the wrestling community for casuals and hardcores. They knew who he was. No
Can you
one knew
guys
who the
think of
fuck
another
Jinder
time off the
was.
top of your heads, like when they flat out took a job guy and just put him in the world title picture immediately out of nowhere? Because I'm
No, but
trying
I,
to think, but
no, but
it's
I
not
wish
coming.
but I wish they could go back in time, bring back Barry fucking Horowitz and have him win the WWE Championship than fucking Jinder before anybody but Jinder. I would rather Barry Horowitz as the 50th fucking champion.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Give me a roster with him as the world champion, Iron Mike Sharp as your United States champion, and Power and Glory as the tag champs, and that's better than anything on current WWE television for the most part, usually.
I fucking agree. I fucking agree.
Logan?
Especially when you have Corbin and him.
This guy never won the WWE champion or the world heavyweight title, but he was put in the title picture before in a pay-per-view that we will never ever remember, and I still don't know why I remember it right now. R-Truth became a jobber to guy that was put in the title picture, but he still isn't anything today. So I'm wrong to even mention that.
And plus, can we also say this? Are WWE at this stage of the game ever going to learn their lesson and realize that a way to kickstart a new character or rejuvenate a guy, don't put him in a storyline program with Randy Orton? The two worst matches of the year for me were Mania with Wyatt Orton and the Punjabi Prison. Key word, Randy fucking Orton.
Yep. I agree with that. And it's not that's not even his fault either. And that's the saddest part. He just like, I don't even think here's the funny thing. I don't think anyone could carry Jinder to a good match. He's uncarryable.
AJ Styles could carry.
AJ Styles.
I doubt. It's not his
This
fault.
is rose-colored
I don't think
glasses
he
too,
could.
but I'll say Leo Rush just because Leo Rush is like a human fucking highlight reel. So,
But here's the thing. Like, Jinder's so uninteresting that I don't think fucking Ric Flair can carry that dude who's stiffer than a fucking broom.
I mean, look
Ric
at his
Flair's
age.
carried some big old mops, man. I don't know. Ric Flair. It's
Yeah,
the
but
time.
as
It's
I said, I
times,
think he's
too.
stiffer than a mop. I
Now-
think
now
he's
we-
stiffer than a mop.
Dare I say, gender's just in the wrong era. This was the
Yeah.
1980s. Who knows? You know what I mean? Early 90s, possibly. Miscast in a way. Timing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he just flat out doesn't have it, and that's probably more the case. Let's move on to SmackDown real quick, guys. Another big thing I want to talk about that I actually have never talked to either one of you guys about because it's so new and storyline wise, and it's Sami Zayn's heel turn. The fact that they're keeping it still kiddie and just this, it's like nothing's really changed except he's a fucking cocky punk rock dick now. I kind of like that approach. It's not the typical he's an evil heel now and he's got to change the way he talks. I kind of like it. What do you guys think of how they've been doing with this heel Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
No, I'll let the guests go. Go ahead, James.
All right. So I think that what's really special about this is exactly what you said. I think has a completely different character. How long will that last? Who the fuck knows? But he's definitely different in the fact that he's not your typical heel. In fact, he's actually kind of has some justifiable things for doing what he did. But also, I think the fact that he's still the same guy, but he's a cocky, arrogant dick, and he basically just went all fucking hipster on Daniel Bryan's, and I'm like, this fucking funny as hell. I was
gonna make a joke about vaping too. You said hipsters. I figured it might not. You already stole it thunder. But does this lead to a Sami Zayn swerve and like he's a face all along just to play that much mind games with Owens? I could definitely see that, especially with them not doing a full heel with him right now. But I mean, if you're gonna do that, don't do it in a fucking week. Stretch that out. You know what I mean?
Dude, stretch that out. Stretch that out like they did with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Just stretch it out as long as you can. Make that a Mania match. Fuck it. If they're
Put him in a
smart,
tag
they
team
make
title
that-
match at Mania, and Zayn turns on Owens in the tag title match.
That, or you could do it for the championship, or like maybe the U.S. championship. I doubt they'll ever do it for the WWE championship, but maybe for the U.S. title, I could definitely see.
I
Saying
just really feel like that these two guys have been rumored to have that Mania match for years. You know, they're Triple H guys. Uncle Paul loves them. I really feel like this is actually the kickstart to that whole beautiful storyline we're going to see, hopefully, with this leading to a match with them at Mania. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Logan.
I hope so. Are you thinking of what I'm thinking, like Triple H and getting involved and all that?
No, I actually didn't think of that scenario.
I think Triple H will come in and do what Shane McMahon was supposed to do and get actual revenge on Kevin Owens for what he did to Vince McMahon.
That's not a terrible thing to think about. Maybe.
I am
But-
smart. Remember that.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but it kind of convolutes things, right? Because Triple H helped Owens to win the Universal title. Triple H was always in those two sweet pictures with NXT guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could do it in a way. I'd love to see her. Since it's the reality era, and I know my rose-colored glasses are on, guys. Bear with me. We hear it in the dirt sheets all the time about this tension backstage between Uncle Paul and Vince McMahon. You know, the son-in-law and the father-in-law. This shift of power. Bring that to the full frontal in a storyline.
I agree with that. It wouldn't be it'd be something different too. Like it's not your typical shift of power storyline like they usually do.
Yeah, because it's
I
real.
agree.
It's real life. It blurs the lines in a way. I think it could work if they did it right. But yeah, I'm loving the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens stuff, and I think it's high time they shook up Sami Zayn's character, and he got a win over Randy Orton, obviously the biggest win of his career. So good for him. Rusev Day and the New Day, that got a laugh out of me backstage, Logan,
Mm.
for like a second, and then I was like, oh yeah, they're still doing nothing with Rusev.
I laughed because New Day said it's a new day or whatever, and then Rusev goes, "No, it's a Rusev Day." I was just like, "No, that's kind of funny." No, I don't know if they know what they want to do with New Day now.
They should make him the fourth New Day member and make him turn face. That's just my opinion.
And I thought Colin was smart and dumb at the same time. You just got a whole new level of stupid.
Well, no. Here's why I say it, because it's not like he would really be out of place. Like I want to see what Rusev can do as a face. I want to see what he could do. Like even if it's not with the New Day, I like to just see him go face, because it's like he's been heel for so fucking long. I want to see something different from the guy, you know.
I'd give him a tuba. Fuck it, put him in the New Day. Give him a tuba.
Yes.
Oh, come on, Travis.
They have hurt that man's character so much. Does it matter? Does it
Yeah,
fucking
right.
have him push
It
out the ice
doesn't.
cream cart while you're at it? Shit, have him covered in ice cream like he's been eating it. Do something.
Yeah, exactly. Have him and Big E win the tag team titles. Two big strong men. Why the fuck not? I don't care.
Why not have Rusev feud with the New Day and put on some good matches between Rusev and Big E?
I mean, you could do that too, but
I mean, find
I want to
Rusev
see
a
more.
tag team partner besides having Aiden English there.
I mean,
I want to see more Chad Gable and Rusev matches. That's what I want to see. Those matches are fucking great, to be honest with you.
yeah. Speaking of Chad Gable, the SmackDown tag division is actually really interesting again for me. I don't know about how you guys feel. I don't know. I think it's varied now. You got very entertaining comedy type teams who can still probably win a title, and for Breezango because they're so goddamn over and they're brilliant. It's just this Usos face turn that came out of nowhere. How do we feel about it, James?
It's not that I hate it, but I mean, at least I'll tell you this. I mean, their characters are 10 times better than what they were before.
Oh my God.
Faces are heel. So I'm not gonna really complain about it too much. I think it's fine, just as long as they go with what I think they're gonna go with, and they're gonna have them face the Bludgeon Brothers, which I'm actually looking forward to be honest.
Me too.
But
Guilty as sin. I'm loving the Bludgeon Brothers promos.
I
Any
really
reason to
love
see
them.
Luke Harper on my fucking TV, I can get behind. So
Eric Rowan sounds really like the Undertaker. Anyone notice that?
like this, the
He
Bludgeon Brothers.
He sounds like Undertaker. It's ridiculous.
He literally sounds like if Satan's voiced in a video game. His voice is that deep. Like, he makes my voice sound like fucking Jack Gallagher. It's that deep. It's crazy. Logan, do you like the Bludgeon Brothers?
Actually, yes. I'm a big fan of theirs. I'm excited.
Well, you can't be
because,
too
like
big of a fan. They haven't worked yet, but I'm just saying, you like what you see?
Well, they've been together before as a tag team,
but not with hammers and bludgeons.
Dude,
but
I want to see them do a concerto with Milner hammers. Can we please have that happen?
I'm excited. I'm excited to have them on my TV screen as well because these guys can go, especially Luke Harper. Luke Harper, anybody that you put him with, to me, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Luke Harper is this generation's Christian who can work with anybody.
I always compared him to a Brody, like most people, visually and work rate. I guess I can see that. That would have never. I literally would have never made that comparison. But I guess the more I think about it, yeah, I can see that. Like a bigger Christian, you know what I mean? But he still kind of has the same work because Christian's not totally a high flyer.
A bigger, hairier,
balder,
buffer, fucking wide-eyed or Christian.
Yeah.
It's like Christian in Breaking Bad. He just let himself go.
He's like he's just like, I don't want to be the dad of Malcolm in the Middle anymore. I'm gonna go sell drugs.
I don't want to be the dad of Malcolm in the Middle anymore. I want to be the singer from a death metal band, basically.
Right.
Or Duck Dynasty.
Yes.
Anything else on SmackDown this week, guys, worth note?
We could talk a little bit of Breezango and their little
Pulp Fashion. Tremendous. Anyone that's seen the movie, you totally got the references. But if you hadn't seen the movie, I feel sorry for you because you probably lost his shit. On some of the gags, you're probably like, why are they laughing so much? Like when he was going to inject him dressed up like Uma Thurman. If you've never seen the movie, you're probably just like, what the fuck? But like we talked about earlier, I think this is going to get the Ascension over in one of those ways that they're never meant to get over, just an accidental get over. And like I've liked the Ascension. They're much more tolerable to me now that we see kind of a more well-rounded version. When they did the Road Warriors gimmick, yeah, that was cool. It's just Connor for me has just always kind of been, It's Victor's fine.
Connor's the one that got wicked fat, right?
Yeah, he's from NXT, like the original first or second season.
Yeah, I know that. I know who the Ascension are. I'm just saying, like, I can never tell the two apart a lot of the time. That's why
Victor's like Christopher Daniels with a mullet.
the Ascension need something to get them at least relevant somewhat, and this is exactly what they needed. And this, don't get me wrong, WWE has dropped the ball on this tag team.
Well, I don't think they're relevant, Logan. I just think they're on the radar now, at least. You know what I mean? They're not just fucking cannon fodder.
Yeah, but they've dropped the ball in the past.
To me, they're relevant to a certain extent, like being viewed as actually being there. You know,
right?
Like, but when it comes to the what they've been booked and how they've been booked, they've been given shit, and it's sad because these guys can actually work a decent tag team match together. It just seems like WWE never knows what to do with anybody that they bring up from NXT. And that could be said again about Shinsuke Nakamura. Perfect example, once again.
Dude, they've dropped the ball with him. You know what the funniest thing about it is? Here's the fact too. Vince has such a hard on for guys like Jinder, or as I don't even like mentioning his name anymore. I forgot him on the protest. Roided up Pooh. and fucking Roman Reigns being a babyface, even though clearly it's not really working, even though the Shield's with him.
Well, he has a shield around him. You see what I did there?
Yes, haha, touche. But the issue is. The issue, I think, that is plaguing this company is that mindset. Vince's mindset that he will go with Reigns and that he will go with Jinder and everyone else can fuck off if they don't like it, which is essentially what has happened to. I thought, and here's the thing: it's not only happened to Shinsuke, but it's happened to fucking Braun Strowman, and that kind of makes me sad because it's like it's a Vince creation, but we also loved that creation, and it's just like, nope. It's just defeat him for Reigns and Lesnar and Mania, and it's just that's the problem. I think at the end of the day, they're not going to give a crap about anybody else. At the end of the day, all that matters is Jinder and Roman. That's all that matters.
WWE is so stubborn, and Vince, and they never realize either that fans can tell when it's it's a company made man. But Hulk Hogan was a company made man. WWE, let's take the AWA out of the equation. Vince McMahon perfected Hulkamania, right? Vince McMahon, in a way, made Braun Strowman, but only Braun Strowman could have pulled this off. Only Hulk Hogan could have pulled it off. That's a problem. And fans know when it's the guy's special. And yeah, the company's behind him. That's great. And they know when it's a company guy like Jenner and like, fuck, we're stuck with this. Fans recognize that immediately, usually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not even just that. Like Braun could have easily been a company guy. Like that's what I think. That's what I think infuriates a lot of people the most, especially about Braun, is that he can be that company guy. He's a Vince creation. The fans fucking love him, and he gets along with everybody in that company, and yet he still gets fucked because Vince wants Reigns.
The great thing about Braun, which we can at least, for me, it makes me stay positive that he's so young. I think he is well liked by the company. He will be a company guy. I really think that they rushed him in that title match with Brock because Big Show's winding down. He's not done yet, but they need a new Big Show full-time on the roster. That was to establish him, that he's credible enough to be in a main event.
They don't need a new anybody.
I'm saying they feel like they need a new Big Show. You know what I mean?
No, I get
they
what
don't realize
saying,
that this era, this audience doesn't want a roster with giants on it. They want Marty Scurll matches and shit like that. You know what I mean?
No. But that's the thing. That's where Braun Strowman was different, and people actually took a liking to that. Even the people that love Marty Scurll, and I'm one of them, by the way. I love the Bullet Club, but I am a huge fan of Strowman too. I think that Strowman
he's a hybrid.
Genuinely got over. I think he genuinely got over because he can put on really good matches with damn near everybody on that roster, and I don't think he's carried to them either, by the way.
I totally agree. I think he's a hybrid. He's a giant that, like, kind of like a Mike Awesome, right, James? Back in the day, he was agile. He could go. He could
yeah,
great.
Except the thing with the difference
Braun
between him and Mike Awesome.
I don't think WWE realizes what we're seeing yet. They just see him as, oh, he's a new giant. But I do think eventually, there's no way they're not going to be able to realize that this guy can fucking go, Logan. And I think it's going to turn out for the better with him if he just hacks it. If he doesn't pull Neville and he just sticks around. I know that's a hot take, unintentional, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I think Braun is good enough that one day he will be a guy like that, a top guy. You could dare say, would you say he's borderline top guy right now?
Yes, I think he's not borderline. He is a top guy right now.
Okay.
He deserves all the credit where credit is due. I think he is more over than Roman Reigns has ever been in his own entire career, and he hasn't even had a WWE or World Heavyweight Champion reign. So let this sink in. I think Braun Strowman is this generation's Big Show, yes. And I also think Braun Strowman has the potential to be this generation's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that when you have a guy that's genuinely liked by casuals, by hardcores, this guy is fucking over. And here's the difference too. It's like even then Hogan, very long after his reign, people started to realize and just started getting sick of him. I don't think that's going to happen with Strowman. It very well might, but they'd have to be trying really hard to fuck it up. He's so over. There's no way that he should not be the face right now. There's no way he should not be Universal Champion right now. And the only reason he's not Universal Champion is because Vince has such a hard on for Reigns, and he wants Reigns to be the guy, and it clearly is not working. And this is the reason the attendance is down, by the way. Do I need to say more?
Yeah. They're running out of options. They've always had that excuse to fall back on, that say what you want about the booking and fans not reacting to Roman the way they want. He was always a great merch seller, right? He was always the most hyped match on the card, good or bad. It was always drawing good revenue, but that has totally fizzled over time to what we see now, where and that because SmackDown's done. I don't want to talk about the mess that's the SmackDown division, but I want to talk about this with you guys. Two just guys apparently reaching out to guys like Cody Rhodes, trying and guys like that, Austin Aries,
Yep.
trying to fucking find a way out. We've seen it with Neville, getting advice from guys like Cody Rhodes, allegedly, according to the
Yep.
sheets, to play him like a fiddle. Nia Jax, guys, obviously the current. Now, before we get into any of this, I will say nothing.
I think there's going to be more.
Nothing.
I think there's going
I
to be
do
more.
too. I totally do. But I will say on Nia Jax real quick, guys, nothing's confirmed. The only things that I've seen as of today on the sheets and all that goodness, WWE sources apparently, they won't say who, but they say she's not done with the company. But they're also saying the same goddamn thing about Neville still. That's a PR answer that's covered their ass so they don't look stupid. Anyway, all that
Yep.
aside, I've heard rumors such as she's pregnant, she's injured, she has cancer, she's unhappy. I've heard all that shit. So I don't know what to believe until I hear it from the woman herself, until something's confirmed. But if she's disgruntled storyline wise, that comes as kind of a shock to me to believe that, because for one, she's in that little thing called, oh, I don't know, the Samoan fucking dynasty backstage.
Yep.
There's talks of her of getting a big push very soon. Mickey James is transitional. Don't think they're putting the strap on Mickey, guys. She's transitional till Asuka gets here, and I think the end game is Asuka and Nia at Rumble or Mania season. I think that's where they were going. I don't know if Byron knocked her up, Logan. I don't know if she has AIDS, cancer, all the. I don't know what's going on until I hear from her. But what do you think? If she was disgruntled like Neville, apparently, do you think that was a tantrum and a baby way to do it, or it's fucking business?
I'm gonna basically give the same exact answer that Michael gave. Okay, you are an employee to the company, that you're supposed to do your job, what they are giving you. Okay, and they're not giving her anything to say, hey, I need to be booked better. Okay, she's been dominant no matter how and who
Yeah.
she has been against. And Nia Jax, to me, will get that opportunity even more down the line when she does win the champion. And then she'll be dominant until Asuka is given that opportunity to face her, and then Asuka might beat her. But then again, come on now. She has been in the main event of the women's division on Raw for over a year now. So,
And not to mention, it's a division that's better booked on Raw. At least Neville had an excuse, because the Cruiserweight division is booked to shit. You know what I mean? So it's not the same thing at all, I think. I think Logan's right on the money here.
I think the key word
Yeah.
is, though, when you said employer, employee, whatnot. I work at a restaurant, right? And if I just worked a 6-day stretch. The other day was my first day off. Whatever, that's in real life boring stuff. But to compare that to this, man, if I got an offer from another chain restaurant, what have you, to work less fucking days, make 3 times as much, it's fucking business. I got a family. It's at the end of the day, money talks. Is it the right thing to do to my current employer, my current employer is great, and I'm not just kissing ass because I'm on the air, you know what I mean? But that would be a dick thing to do, to just duck out, right? But sometimes, man, the almighty dollar, it's hard to draw that blurred fucking line on what's right or wrong. Only people that really know are the people in the shoes. So that's why when people come out and they bury guys for doing it, it's really because everyone's situation's different, right? So
Exactly.
I don't know, man. It's hard to walk away from money. Everyone knows
You
that.
have
It really is.
it comes down to it is a business. You have to have a moral flexibility in this kind of business, and you have to understand that there are reasons. You don't have to agree with them, you don't have to like them, but you have to respect their wishes.
And plus, to get paid
case in
3
point,
times as
Austin
much.
Aries.
Real quick, James. Sorry, I'll let you have it. To get paid 3 times as much, right? Just to cook. Man, that's just all. I'm just getting out of this hot, sweaty kitchen. I'm not getting slammed on my fucking neck, so of course I'm going to take it. I'm also getting banged up less, and I'm going to make more. Sorry. Yeah, but go ahead, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I think that and I said this on the Pro Wrestling Roundtable, and I'll say it here too. I said when Neville walked out, and like this has already happened. Like, how many people have walked out now? We've had like I think like 3 walkouts in the course of a year, like an entire year, like from last October to this October. We've had like 3 walkouts, and all of these that could have been really good hands and really big stars in the company. Austin Aries, Neville, and I forget the other one. It was from last year technically, but it's just upsetting because these guys, especially Austin Aries and Neville, like these guys could have been your standard bearers for that division, not only to give the cruiserweights a chance, but to really shine the light where they're supposed to be, and they could do more than just be a cruiserweight. But of course, Vince, being the stubborn asshole that he is like, oh no, they're cruiserweights. They can't be heavyweight wrestlers in 2017, mind you.
I think
And
Ryback was the guy you were thinking of, I believe, who's also in the news this week. We could talk about in a little bit.
Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger as well.
yeah, Jack Swagger.
Who's actually making good
thing.
money right now, believe it or not, on the indies. Jack Swagger, of all people.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. When you guys got Jack Swagger and Ryback, who aren't even as over as guys like Neville would be, making more money in the independent circuit now than they ever would have in WWE. That is fucking sad. And everybody in that fucking merchandise department, everybody that fucking does promotion to fucking get these people to try and get a crowd over there and fucking fail at their fucking job should be fucking ashamed of themselves, because that should not be fucking happening. They're the number one quote unquote company in the fucking world, and they're getting bested by independent companies that can pay them more money.
They always have the option to hit him with a breach of contract. They don't have to pay him for their 90 days. They're going to catch on that guys are having outside contacts like Cody Rhodes. Allegedly, again, I want to cover my ass on that, guys. Let me go. I think they're going to catch on and shut him down. Like, fine, you want to walk out, see you in court, or fine, you won't get paid for 3 months. Good luck not working. You know what I mean? They always have that option. We've seen them, they say what you want. Everyone has their opinion on the Young Bucks. I do not feel like going in a rant. It's too damn late. But WWE, say what you want, whether it's right or wrong for what they did to the Bucks. They held on to them doing that shit for years. They could have pulled that trigger at any time. They were very fucking patient with the Young Bucks. They were. Let's give the devil his due for the listeners, anyone. I think they were. But I also, because I'm not a Young Bucks fan, and everyone fucking knows this, but I think they're very brilliant businessmen. That cease and desist t-shirt is brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. I'll give them all the credit in the world. That's a good fucking shirt, and it made sense, and it was clever. And they're always good at doing that. They're always good at striking while the iron's hot. But yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows what'll come out of the Nia Jax stuff? Who knows who could be next? Guys, immediately off the top of my head, come to mind are guys like Ziggler. That's an easy one you could see. Rusev, also. Any other guys that you could see right now just saying, fuck you, you're not doing with me? Or ladies, not just men.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think that, I think it's upsetting because you have a lot of talent in this roster. They don't even use like a good 75% of it, maybe even 85% of it, which is upsetting to me because it's like it wasn't like that in the Ruthless Aggression era even. Like, granted, yeah, you had your big guys like John Cena, Randy Orton, blah, 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 whatever, but at least people were used back then. You can't say that now. That's like fucking bad.
Ferrara and Russo, good or bad about them, they always seem to have something for everybody on a card. From your D'Lo Browns to your Steve Austins, everybody had something more times than not intriguing in a way to watch. Sometimes it was shit. Don't get me wrong. But
I got 2 points before I'm completely done on the subject. For one, I think when it comes to Nia Jax, she might be a little bit different to be viewed as than like the guys. And this isn't a sexist thing that I'm saying. I'm saying like she has the potential to be a big paid female because of how dominant she is and where she's coming from,
She's special. She stands out. I don't know if she's special, but she stands out.
Yep.
I think she's special. And then for a guy that we could see leave the company soon, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Took my
I
goddamn
don't
answer, by
blame
the
him.
way.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him because holy hell have they buried this dude like not even 6 feet under. It's like 60 feet under at this point. He's in the lithosphere of the earth at this point, melting away as his character becomes shittier and shittier. Now he's a transvestite fucking Wonder Woman, fucking combined with a goddamn fucking kinky boots, scary looking Friday the 13th piece of shit,
Could you imagine him
feuding
leaving,
with
joining that
Balor.
group with Naito, James?
Yeah, oh my god, he would be fucking so over. I could see him immediately even going into the Bullet Club and being more over than he ever has been in his entire career, and probably be one of the biggest stars in there, even bigger than the Young Bucks, because people are sick of him getting the fucking shaft all the time.
Here's a big one, and so we can end the topic and move on. And I'll end it with this and pose this to you guys. This is a big one, and this is far stretched. But what if Balor is just so? Could you imagine the Balor reunion and the business that would do in the Bullet Club right now, with as
Oh
popular
yeah,
as they are?
Yeah. Or a
Good
and not
Nakamura.
God. Going up against Bray Wyatt and Los Canibus, whatever the fuck it's called. Could you
I'll
imagine?
tell you what I'll tell you right now, Ring of Honor has no better chance at competing with WWE at this stage than they do right now. But here's the one thing they have to do. Um, right now they don't have a Hogan, but they have someone close to that star power. And if I was Ring of Honor, I would do anything that I fucking could do to get this guy in. I'd bring in CM Punk.
They could do
Because
that.
god damn, that's going to be game busters if you have a Cody Rhodes and CM Punk match at a fucking Ring of Honor show for the fucking title, and Punk's the one to finally take it off him. That's
James, they have that now. I don't like the man. I am so sick of his
no,
cringe
I
fan base. But they have that with Kenny Omega right now. The thing is, Ring of Honor needs to think outside the box. Get Kenny Omega on the cover of the IGN website. Get him on
here's the thing.
gaming magazines.
I
That's how they're
understand
going
that.
to do it.
I understand. Fine, and they have to do that too. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but if they want a big time star where
No,
people
I
will
agree.
definitely pay
I'm saying
attention,
imagine
I think
both.
Punk.
Imagine
Yeah,
both. I totally agree with you. I'm just saying they have that now, so they could have a Hogan and a Savage in a way. So I think you build,
yeah.
yeah, it would be. I really do think and God, I'm gonna sound like such a fucking mark by saying this, but I have this feeling they could have that kind of a momentum. And I think because wrestling is like at an all-time low in popularity, it's really only hanging on by the diehards who just bitch about it. People who do podcasts that have to watch it, like us, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That Ring of Honor wave could compete like a WCW. I really do think the time is now with the popularity, the merchandise sales, the Hot Topic shirts. It's there. It's waiting to
It's
be
there.
mainstream. It really is.
All they have to do, seriously, all they have to do, I think they should definitely keep their partnership with New Japan because international flavor and also CMLL international flavor bringing into Ring of Honor. I think they should keep that. I think it actually brings in a different flavor. Their product is so different. I went to a Ring of Honor show in,
Energy.
like freaking months ago,
Keyword is
but
energy.
it was final battle, and Lord, that entire show was great from top to bottom. There was not one bad match. There was not one bad promo. I understood every fucking storyline that was going on because it was simple, it was effective, it was to the point, and god damn it, when Cody won that world title from Daniels, that place erupted. I had not been to a bigger pop like that in such a fucking long time.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like they have it right now.
You guys go
have
to
it.
WWE house shows recently in the past year or
Oh
so?
my god, yeah. I there was one person that I know that did, and the attendance was even worse than it is on TV.
Well, obviously everyone's seen on the channel. I put a video up on with Mike from Slam Pigs in Hershey, Pennsylvania, right? And I got it. There was energy to the crowd, but it was literally that entire audience was parents taking their kids, and the parents could really give a shit. They're doing it for their kids. The kids right now are the sponges, and they're seeing the Bullet Club. So in a couple years, what the fuck do you think they're going to be into? They're not going to be into what we're being force fed. They want to capitalize on the children right there. Children don't want to go buy the book. Children always want to be edgy and above the bar and fucking
Exactly.
rebels. Because we were
Exactly.
kids, and we did the same thing. Does Steve Austin ring a
Exactly.
fucking bell, anyone?
Exactly. Not just that, Travis. But here's the fucking thing. This is the thing. The Young Bucks, even though
I
people
don't
may
even
not like
like
their
them.
whole
I don't
thing,
even like
here's the
anybody
deal.
in the Bullet Club, but
They
I'm smart
they
enough to know this,
they are
James.
entrepreneurs in this fact. Not only are they entrepreneurs, they are fucking lobbyists, and they will convince kids before they get older to be fans of the fucking Bullet Club. I see kids now wearing Bullet Club t-shirts.
You see,
It's fucking there. Capitalize on it. I'm so sick of seeing the same cookie cutter bullshit in WWE. Even if you don't like the fucking Bullet Club, the whole product of Ring of Honor is different. It's better. It's innovative. I'd rather watch that than the fucking shit that I'm seeing where Vince is so stubborn that he won't get out of two fucking guys that cannot be the fucking draw.
point in case,
I'd
Logan.
rather this. I'd rather Ring of Honor. I'd rather the Bullet Club than these fucking Roman Reigns babyface and fucking Jinder. God damn.
I agree. I totally
I'll be
agree.
right
Amen.
back.
I was going to say to Logan, but I'll throw it to you, James. Point in case, right? Leave your petty bullshit at the door when you're booking a company. The Young Bucks blocked me over a Han Solo GIF, right? I've never said a bad word to them. I'm even smart enough to see that booking wise to make money. Put my petty bullshit aside, and I'd push the Young Bucks. I'd sign them. It's business. Come on.
Exactly. I fucking here's the thing, right? I hated the Miz for the longest time,
Me too.
but when he did that talking smack promo,
Yes,
I
sir.
said, "All right, no more me. I may hate the Miz, but you know what? This dude's fucking money. He could talk his ass off. He could talk a crowd into that fucking building. God damn it, he should be a fucking world champion at this point with the fucking mic skills he has.
One of the most
Be better than
overrated
Jinder.
champions in the history of wrestling, in my opinion,
Fucking
is Dave Batista. But I'm smart enough to see how popular he was in 05. I would have put the title.
Oh, yeah.
He was ready.
05, 06, 07.
Yep.
He was the guy.
And I hated him.
I personally think he was more over than Cena.
Yeah.
In a lot of aspects.
Because Cena
he
was towards
cool.
the kids, and it's like SmackDown was like the grown-up show in a way, how they kind of tried to do it.
Yeah.
He was kind of like that Nick Bockwinkel mixed with like a fucking, I don't know, that got all the chicks, but he was a badass, and he deserved to have the title put on him. I'll say that for him.
Absolutely. I agree with that. It's upsetting. Here's another thing too. And I think I'll leave this as the final point, and then I think we should move on to 205 Live. I don't know if you have like a certain time limit on this, by the way.
No.
But I think the one thing that is the biggest issue is all of their heels are the same chicken shit, for the most part, all the same cookie cutter. They're chicken shit heels. They'll have help. They'll run away from fights, and it's just fucking ridiculous how many heels do the same fucking tactic over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The two that don't do it
Owens
are Samoa Joe. No, Owens does it too. That's the problem. Like he'll have his moments, but then he'll like run away from a fight the very next week, completely like killing it off, which is fine because Triple H did that in 2000. But then when it was pay-per-view time, he didn't need any help. He went out there and destroyed you and retained the title clean. You know, won his matches clean. You can't say the same thing for fucking Owens. He has hope. He's had help ever since he got to the main roster.
every time.
And it's fucking dumb.
Except the one time I think he beat Cena and Jericho at Mania.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, that's it. And it's like, what the fuck, you know? And then you have baby faces that are booked to utter shit. Case in point, Roman Reigns, their guy. They booked him to oblivion. Suffer and succotash. Tater tots. Holy shit. No one's gonna forget about that. And then they have the same guys, all the baby faces, say similar fucking things. Jason Jordan at one fucking point with a cookie cutter baby face promo. It was fucking shit. And all this company knows how to do is say childlike insults to get heat. That's what the WWE is now, and that's why people
Because
more
Vince
and
is a
more and more and more are going
Vince
to
is a
Ring of Honor
man
and
child
going
at the end of the day. He likes dick and fart jokes. He always has and he always will. That's Vince coming through. When you see
and
that,
guess
you know
what,
it's
Vince?
Vince.
And guess what? That's not going to get your company over clearly because guess what? you're not selling out houses. Period.
It goes back to, it blows my mind that the WWE doesn't realize the power of the internet in 2017. They really don't. Vince still books his show like it's 98, like tee-hee. Like, kids have so much accessibility at the drop of a hat with animal memes and all that shit on YouTube. They've seen everything. You're not going to put anything over the kids' eyes anymore. Everything's been done at this stage of the game. And I
know a
really
kid
hate to
that's
say,
like 12 years old.
I never thought I'd have to say this, but to go back to that, it's a business. I don't have to like it, but if I want to make money, I got to pander to the people that are paying for the tickets. I think it's time that fans want to see that New Japan style, that segue, high spot fest match, segue to high spot fest. They don't want to see soap operas in their fucking wrestling anymore. They want to see cocky guys cutting promos. You know what I mean? But I think it's done. I really do think the days of storylines are done. It really is.
Even if,
There's too much shit to watch for that to get
not
over.
even just that. If you're gonna do a storyline, you got to do it like NXT does it. Like it just
Exactly.
has to come natural.
The
Like
hokiness has
NXT
got
is
to
the
go.
best.
It really does. It really does. It's just got to go. That's not going to cut it anymore.
Honestly can't think, and I'll end this, and then I think we probably should move on to 205 Live. But I want to say,
I don't even know if Logan's back.
yeah, right.
Oh yeah, we have a chat.
Yeah,
I'm so into this combo. Let me check the chat while you're saying that, James. See what's going on.
Yeah, I think I posted something in the chat, and it was my better than gender video that Hammer Productions posted on his YouTube channel. By the way, everyone, go check that out.
The Dracula
no.
films are tremendous. I love those.
Yes. I didn't think I could.
Yes, my main man Snare X is in there. I'm so sorry. You're blowing up the chat. I did not see any of that stuff. Yeah, and you're right. Yes, the indie scene is paying higher than the main gig. Not for top guys, I would say, in WWE guys. Snare X said that, by the way. I would say for mid card guys, definitely. And thanks for stopping by.
That's why I had a different comment when it came to Nia Jax. She has the potential to get that kind of money because of where she's transitioned in the women's division.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the mentality, this advice being given from Cody, if I'm Cody, I would say, get yourself over enough that you got an action figure and you got a good spot in the video game, and then leave. You're not quite a top guy yet, but you know what I mean? You'll do just as well. You won't have to put up the travel schedule and call your own shots. And that's what's going on. Flat out. But you're right, guys. We could talk about these guys leaving for hours. Go ahead, Logan, real quick.
I'm saying, just like for perfect example is Jack Swagger. He hasn't been relevant as a main event guy in years, and that's due to the fact that WWE was like, you know what? You became the RVD.
Yep. It's like, okay, there was this awesome party, right? You didn't get to go to, but one of your buddies did. Or someone that's not as popular as like another person, but they were there, so they get to tell you about the story. So you go to see these guys at a high score, and you get to sign autographs, and it's personal. And they were there, so you can talk about WWE, blah blah blah. Photo.
Chavo Guerrero did that. I actually went to a top rope, and I got
they
to
all
like
do
meet
that.
Chavo Guerrero.
They all fucking do that. What are you? I have so many
love it.
pictures with guys like Bundy and Bigelow, and just random ass guys. It's crazy, but it's awesome. I love that stuff.
I love it. I met Chavo for the first time. It was like actually having a personal conversation with him.
I met
about
Terry
it
Funk at a high school by my hometown in like '99.
Oh, you met the Funk man?
I did. I got his autograph. I stood in line forever, and like me and my friend Nick, we were thinking of a question to ask him. And this was '99, right? And you remember how he came back to WCW and it was terrible, and he was like a GM or something with like the Russo storyline. It was right before that, and he told me he swerved me. He swerved me, a 15-year-old Travis. He said, "I'm going back to ECW and starting with Sandman." And I believed him, and he showed up in WCW, that fucking prick. No, I love Terry Funk. I love Terry Funk.
I'll say this, though. I'll say this. I just have a joke. Look at Terry Funk. He's such an adorable psychopath.
He's like a cuddly teddy bear.
Right. Mick Foley is probably one of the most down-to-earth guys ever. Just saying.
He came to the Borders where I live, but I had to work that day. It was like 06 when Mick Foley came for a book signing, but Michael got to go, so shout out to Michael, bastard. Let's talk about 205 Live. I've been putting off this episode so much because, like we said at the top of the show, pretty much a filler, nothing happening show. Really, main storyline-wise, it's dumb, but this is obviously an audible with Neville leaving. It was just like God, you guys didn't even like give this a chance to float with the entire roster hating Enzo. Now he has a stable of guys. But other than that, this was just to show an edgier side of Kalisto, basically. To get an edgy side of Kalisto, which didn't set my fucking world on fire. But guys, Logan, first of all, speaking of
Kalisto is still bad on the mic, by the way.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Logan, speaking of 2-5 Live, how were the polls this week, my friend? I voted on one of them.
Oh, I know I made you happy.
I actually voted no on the Drew Gulak poll. I don't think they'll ever put the title on him.
Oh, that's a shocker. James, did you get the vote for the...
I did not. I can vote right now. Where is it?
Well, it's...
I think it's closed like 4 days ago.
It's closed.
Something like that.
But...
No, I didn't get the vote.
Well, you can vote on here. How about this? I'll answer the question before I give you the...
You'll say the
thing.
question.
You can tell me your opinion. I'll just answer the question.
You'll say the question. You won't answer the question. You'll say the question.
Okay, I'll say the question. My mind is not here right now. Every week I'll be posting the same question for each cruiserweight. So I'm going to give you a different guy each week. Yeah. What percentage do you give Drew Gulak to become the cruiserweight championship one day? I thought
it was just yes or no. I
percentage that I give Drew Gulak.
Hang on. I'll give you the options. 25%, he definitely won't. 50%, he has a 50-50 opportunity. 75%, never know. And 100%, definitely one day.
25%. I'm sorry.
That's what I did. That's what I did. I love Gulak. I really do. But man, I don't see him. I don't see them having.
They assassinated his character just like they did that.
He's Stevie Richards to them in the right to censor. Yeah. That's all he is.
That's
it's sad because he's really talented. He's really talented. See if you watch his stuff from like PWG and stuff like that.
The results for the post is the first one was 25%. He definitely won't. Got 11%. 75% got the 17%. 50% got 33%. And everybody with an astounding 39% said definitely one day.
I probably just would have kept it yes or no. I'm just confused now. Coming out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you have another one, or was that the only one this week?
That was the only one this week. But I was just trying to see what people thought, you know.
What do you think? If you gave him you're asking her, what do you think about Drew Gulak with the title?
Well, I would give it to him. I mean, his gimmick's over. He deserves it to a certain extent because he's putting guys over. The only thing that I cringe about now is the PowerPoint presentation now is just getting a little stale.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's what they're doing. I think they're doing it because they actually have a sponsorship with Microsoft now because he just randomly promoted Microsoft PowerPoint.
You think that's what?
I think that's. Yeah,
you're gonna see Cuphead pop up. And he's gonna start playing Cuphead in a backstage vignette with TJP.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But no, I think the reason why they're trying to stretch it out as long as they can is because they have a deal with Microsoft now. Because like Drew Gulak promoted Microsoft out of the blue, and Microsoft like kind of retweeted it and like gave them like they actually was like, we really approve of this, and then like I think they talked to WWE about a business deal afterwards.
I will honestly not be against a PowerPoint presentation from Drew Gulak stating the reasons why he should be a number one contender for the Cruiserweight title.
I'm fine with that.
WWE really loves this hurt throat angle. They did it with Steamboat. I remember him doing it with Road Dogg in the Attitude Era where like he couldn't do his intro because like a tag team hurt his throat. And they did it again. They always do this. It's always the throat with these guys. But it makes sense. It's just saying, I'm picky. Sorry. Go ahead, Logan.
No, I'm finished. I'm good.
Other than that, what the show started off, it was Enzo and his boys. There was Kalisto in the ring, right? In a promo, one of the two.
Enzo Amore started the
with a fucking dumbass goddamn turn the hat at least backwards. What the fuck was I watching? His denim jacket was weird, and I don't know. Anyway, go.
What are we talking about?
Enzo Amore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He always has the weirdest fucking getup every time.
The show started off with Enzo Amore promo And then he got his little cheap shots in. Kalisto ran down to the ring. A few back and forth, I guess, back and forth banter with the couple kicks. Went for the finisher. Nothing really to say. I'll start off the comments by saying Enzo Amore was way too long on the damn mic.
Yeah, they just can't help
it's-
themselves with that. They always give him way too long. They don't know when to time the man out. You know what I mean?
He
Yeah.
had a 20-minute promo. 20 minutes, at least.
Not even just that. It's like I'm a fan of Enzo, but it's like the fact that you have a 20-minute promo on a show that's supposed to be the most exciting hour on television, which is a load of shit anyway. It's false advertising. Someone should fucking sue. You have a guy cut up a 20-minute promo, and there's barely any action to begin with anyway, and you have everybody there in the fucking cruiserweight division wrestle like goddamn heavyweights for the
And
most
everybody started chanting boring, and
Yeah.
that was also what happened during Drew Gulak's promo during the show. The
Because
crowd was
it's
not
like
invested.
yeah. It's not even just that. It's like not even is the crowd not invested. It's like they just dealt with a long ass Enzo promo, and now they have to hear Drew Gulak's promo, and it's just like they're sick of promos. If people are like, "Oh, well, the cruiserweight divisions are boring," by the way, shout out to Shady C who kept fucking telling me that on my podcast. I was like, "Here's the problem, though. They would not be boring if they booked these fucking dudes like they did in WCW when they launched the Cruiserweight division. Because guess what? If you just have them go out there and tear it up like they did in the Cruiserweight Classic, guess what's going to happen? They're going to develop their character naturally. And they're going to get over.
I said
naturally.
it last week. I said it last week on this show. I said that's like hiring a plumber, bringing him to your house, and having him do drywall work. Makes no fucking sense.
Right?
Makes no sense.
Yep. That's exactly
Speaking of Shady C, I hope Colin is not sick because he randomly got herpes from Shady after he showed his penis and Colin decided to do the dick spot with him. Hope that didn't happen.
Jesus Christ,
dude,
you
don't
sick
talk
fuck.
about that. I don't want to think about that. Please don't do that. Please.
Logan
please
cutting
don't put that into
ECW
my head.
promos tonight. EC Logue. Anyway, that was Kalisto. They're trying with the Edge, but come on. It's Kalisto.
Come on, man.
Jesus Christ. And yes, Snare X in the chat, speaking of boring, he says even his kids try to watch and they get bored with all the talking. Because that's all you see, flat out. There you go. Point in case. If I was in the chat, and Snare's the only person in the chat, we are going late, but thank you again, bud. But if I was in the chat, I'd say how DDP's kind of like, or excuse me, say I fucked up my shit. God damn it. Enzo Amore is kind of like Machine Gun Kelly and DDP had sex. And that's what he reminds me of now. He's like this weird combination. But yeah.
Kelly and fucking DDP. It's like, oh my god.
Think about it. Fits like a glove. Like a Magnum. Anyway,
Dude,
Logan, that's how the show kicked off on 205 Live. Nothing happening for me other than that. Oh, God, I kind of want to breeze through this episode. Anything stand out for you, Logan?
Video. The next thing we have was a video promo. Everything involving Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander, the guy that I wish was off my TV, and Jack Gallagher. Or Gallagher, whatever.
Gallagher.
Nowadays.
Who do you want off your TV, Cedric?
No, Brian Kendrick.
Oh, yeah, you don't like Brian Kendrick. I forgot. I like Brian Kendrick.
Stand. All right, get off my podcast.
Why?
Well, speaking of Cedric, Mustafa Ali, guys like that, they are on the thumbnail. The title of this episode is who will take the mantle or Neville and fill the void of Neville, pretty much. Is there anyone? Neville is really on another level, as they like to say. He really is. No one can touch him. If anybody would come close, nowhere charisma-wise, but just to carry the belt with some sort of credibility, got to be Cedric, speaking of the man.
Yeah, Cedric. Maybe, but here's the problem. I mean, will he be good on the mic as well as Neville is? Because here's the thing about Neville. Cedric is a great hand, but he's not an all-around performer like Neville is. And quite honestly, if he wasn't booked to shit like he's been booked, he should be like the top 5, or like one of the top 5 performers nowadays in history, because he's good in the mic, He's good at wrestling a slow pace, a fast pace, strong style, every other fucking wrestling style you can think of. And he can be a babyface and or he can be a heel. He could do it all. That's the thing. And that's where when you lose a guy like that, there's not a lot of people that can fill a void. That it's like a wound. Like it's such a big wound that it takes a very long time for something like that to heal, if you can heal it at all. You know.
Did you guys see the T-shirt they made for him that he was pissed off?
God, it's a fucking abysmal.
Ugh.
Dude, I've made better logos on fucking PowerPoint than these fucking people. Fucking hell.
Man, did you see it, Logan?
Yeah, and then I liked Neville's tweet about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
He said that is not Neville level worthy or something like that,
Yeah,
which is understandable, and I agree. Neville was given shit for a T-shirt, and WWE and the shop was fucking stupid to even do that. Because the shirt was made when he was the Cruiserweight champion, and that's what really pisses me off the most.
Yeah.
Should he, on one hand, just be thankful to have a shirt?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Because
well,
when you
the
see
box
people
complains.
come out in like these breast cancer awareness shirts because they have no shirts, I just kind of feel bad for him sometimes. Like Mickey James,
No,
was
I
wearing a
understand.
Dana Warrior T-shirt, and I was like, really?
Here's the thing. I'm fine with that. I get that. Maybe you should be happy. But the problem is when you work as hard as Neville does, he doesn't deserve Times New Roman font for a fucking T-shirt.
He should have at least 4 shirts on the shop right now. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
If a guy is willing to put the work in, which they claim to love in their guys, that's not the point in case. And a lot of people are going to come in the comments, I know when this uploads later after we get done going live about earlier, because we can't help it tonight. It's such a hot topic in wrestling about guys leaving. Fucking, we never brought up CM Punk. And I there's a reason, I think, because CM Punk, different scenario. That guy was fucking banged up and hurt, and they flat out ignoring him and milking him for every money, like show pony, flat out. That was the story.
Yeah, but it was also you got to remember it is kind of similar in the fact that he also felt creatively stifled.
I'm
as
saying
well
that
as
was
Neville.
there, but I think the underlying thing with that was more of his health. That was years ago, and we didn't see this surge until recently in the past. Ryback, I would say. What would you say really kickstarted this?
Ryback started it. Ryback started it by leaving because he was sick and tired of jobbing on the pre-show.
Del Rio, is that another one we forgot to mention?
Oh.
I'll give a list. I can give a list off the top of my head. Ryback, Del Rio, Sandow, Aries, fucking Neville now, possibly Nia.
Sandow fired?
Sandow got released, but I think he asked for his release.
Yeah.
So it's just on and on. Cody, that's the other one I was trying to think of. Cody Rhodes when he left. So it was like Cody, Aries, and Neville within a year alone they lost.
I think we'll see another cruiserweight soon. Man. I really do.
Drew McIntyre left for a period of time too.
Yeah.
And
TJP, I could totally see TJP leaving.
Yeah, TJ. I guarantee you, TJP is not happy because he's like booked to be a fucking geek, and he shouldn't be. He was the fucking first ever cruiserweight. Yeah, he could absolutely, because he's not a fucking geek. He's actually a world-class athlete, and he could have been a standard bearer in the face of the division, and they fucked that over for him because they're like, ooh, video game Mega Man ripoff music. We want to make him a geek. Let's make him a geek.
And he's a fucking heel.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much they went with like his meeting with Vince. So what are you into, pal? Play games. That's your character. Next. Give me the other vanilla midget.
Fucking right.
God.
And then Kalisto walks in. Oh, God.
Hey, Ray, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, wait. You're not him.
Right.
Great question, Shelton. God. I could do Vince for hours because 205 Live needed Vince. And they needed anything this week for me. Jack Gallagher, Cedric Alexander, Logan.
You know what I'm gonna do for you, Jason Jordan? I'm gonna make you the son of Kurt Angle, and
it's true.
What's Booker T?
It's damn true.
Sure, Mom. we're gonna make we're gonna make you Kurt Angle and Charmel's son. We're not gonna say you're Charmel's son, but it's gonna be heavily implied.
Yep. Well, speaking, I got to move on because that was the worst Vince McMahon impression I've ever heard in my damn life. Just stick to your day job. Okay. Rich Swann versus Jack Gallagher in a great match, in my opinion. I did not.
It was Cedric
I wanted to
Alexander and
damn.
Jack Gallagher, I thought.
No.
Oh, that was
No, it
Raw.
was-
My bad. That was Raw.
Oh, get with the program, Travis.
The program sucked this week. Give me a break.
That is true.
Yeah, it was bad.
But I wanted a damn finish in this match. I'm tired of let's play it easy on these guys. Let's not give them a finish because they're gonna get a finish no matter what at the pay-per-view. You might as well at least one of these guys take a pinfall. I don't see how it was gonna hurt any of these two.
Yeah.
You know what's worth doing at this point with 205 Live because it's so hurt. It's barely getting by. You do a top 10 system like WCW did back in the day. You got to make every match mean something to get eyes on the product. That's what I would totally do. It's worth a fucking shot. That shit was awesome in like 89, 90 in WCW. I love the top 10 ranking system because guys like Brad Armstrong, their matches fucking meant something. And that's why you'd see crowds invested.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. Their matches actually have to go like the Cruiserweight Classics did.
Then
that's
do
not
that.
happening.
You're not on a network. You're on your own network. Just go back to that formula every episode. It's not hard. It's right there in front of your face. It's in your own fucking library on how to do it because of the Cruiserweight Classic.
Not even just that. Vince wants to get the attendance up. All you have to do is make the first match on Raw the fucking Cruiserweights. Because you know what? If you have them go out there and just kick it off with a high-paced match, people are going to be into the show automatically.
Pay-per-view kickoff with the Cruiserweight title match. That's perfect. WCW did that all the time, and it did nothing but get guys like Malenko, Mysterio, Psychosis, Jericho, all the classics over, you know? It's worth a shot. Christ. You sign these guys, and then I don't want to bitch anymore about it, because we don't want to be one of those shows, but it's baffling. It's baffling that we're reviewing the show with the talent on this each week, guys. Each week, we got to do this to ourselves. It's like, what the fuck are we watching? What are we watching at the end of the day?
Dude, I honestly, I feel like WWE is like, and I know this is like such a controversial thing, but I honestly compared it to like TNA. It's like a well more organized TNA in 2010. Now you have like a bunch of fucking factions now. You have a bunch of nostalgia acts running around, and meanwhile, none of the young guys are getting over.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Can I be god awful honest with you guys?
No.
Yeah.
I went to a show a couple weeks ago. Travis, you remember?
Yes.
I went to ATCW. It was booked better than anything 205 Live recently.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I could make a My Universe match on WWE 2K18. It would be better. You know what I mean?
Would be better. Exactly.
Yep. I agree.
I would much rather watch an NFL game that is not my fucking team that I like.
Well,
and it would be
90% of America would, though. That's kind of unfair. That's NFL. Come on.
No, I'll tell you why it is a factor.
NFL is rigged and it's booked better.
Here's why I say it actually is, Travis. He is on the ball with that because guess what? In the Attitude Era, people were more into wrestling.
They used to be
people were more into wrestling. Exactly.
Right.
Well, obviously they fucking can't because they did that to themselves. Everyone.
Maybe you are smarter than Colin. Maybe you are smarter.
See, Logan, there's a reason I have these people on. You think I just fucking go into the convenience store to get a pack of smokes? I'm like, hey, you want to come on my podcast? No, I know who I'm scouting to come on, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, I can't imagine what you said when you scouted me.
I should do that for like an April Fool's or Cruise Control. Just go like the next time I go to like the convenience store, just ask the first person I see to come on the show. They have no clue what we're talking about. That'd be weird, actually. I'm not
you should totally do it.
Maybe they would rob me. I'm not doing that. Christ. Anyway. Yeah, flat out.
We could always book that one dude that I met that was Mr. Referee. We could do that. He's probably listening to this show right now.
See, that's safer, because I was a rando on Twitter. And you're not a rando, thank you for liking the show. But it's not, it's as opposed to meeting Crazy Jack from fucking 7-Eleven and having him come to my house, who knows? Guys, Like, but flat out, the show, I think really the synopsis of what we're trying to say for the listeners, it needs to go back to basics of what got it over in the first place. Not everything can cross appeal to demographics. That's not, you know what I mean? It's no. And WWE just thinks every genre of wrestling can. Your hardcore wrestling can. They tried that with
Not even just
ECW
that.
Light. How did that turn
Yeah.
out? Ezekiel
Not-
Jackson was your champion when it folded, for Christ's sakes.
Fucking goddamn. No, yeah, it's like Vince had a vision for a black guy, and then they saw Ezekiel Jackson. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Lashley?
Hey,
I'm
Bobby.
back." But no, like, here's the thing, right? You have a talented fucking roster. Here's the deal: if you want, I personally would ixnay 205 Live, but I don't care. I'll review the show, right? But you don't need this show. But if you're gonna do a show like this, it should be booked exactly like Ring of Honor television is booked, where you have the code of honor like you did in the Cruiserweight Classic before, and you have stellar fucking matches. Every fucking match should be a stellar match in very minimal promos, because
Water
that's
cooler
not going to get
type
them over.
buzz around the match.
Exactly.
Every match as much as possible.
Exactly. And not just that, as I said before, and I'll say it again 100 times if I have to, make the Cruiserweight match the beginning of the fucking show. Even if it's after a promo, make that the first fucking match people see, and people will be fucking invested. Stop doing this bullshit where you put it in the middle of the fucking card. You do this on pay-per-views, you do this on Raw, and it's not getting them over. If anything, they're treating them like the piss break, because that's exactly how you fucking booking these guys.
You know
that
what
are
I see
10 times
exactly what
talented than that.
happened? What I saw that would happen with the Cruiserweight division, Logan. I think when the Cruiserweight finals happened and TJ Perkins won, and then it started getting on pay-per-views, then it would have the fucking old heads backstage, like your Michael Hayes and your agents that think that everything needs to have Jake Roberts ring psychology if it's on WWE. And they refuse to give in to this that needs to be this high spot fest. It's okay sometimes when it calls for it. And they're
It's
not
okay,
letting it
especially for this division.
They're not letting it get. The question also is, Logan, did this need its own show in the first place? I say no, because flat out, it kind of didn't have a chance. There's too much goddamn wrestling as it is on television, guys. That's another problem. There's too much. It's
true.
like the video game
That's very
crash.
true.
The video game crash in 1983, the video game market crashed because there was too much on the market. It oversaturated its market and it cannibalized itself. And that's what's happening with wrestling.
I'm surprised they were able to do
when 205 Live first came out, and I'm gonna stick to this day. I still believe what I said the first day, that this having them have 205 Live could have benefited all these guys, because it's getting them out there, it's giving them their own show, see what the fans think of them. And we at first was like, and I kept talking to you for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's like, we got to do a show for the Cruiserweights for 205 Live.
I was against it. I was kicking and screaming, but you're my friend. You're my pally. I gave in. I did it for you. I did not want to do it, but I'm glad we did it because it's given us some good vent sessions.
And we've actually had some entertaining disagreements, and normally we don't have that.
Very fitting little epilogue or prologue or whatever here, Logan, because next week's the big 20, episode 20. So very
episode 20.
It's gonna be.
I still did to this day say that it could really benefit them to still have 205 Live.
Yep.
The only thing is, as of right now, the booking wise is just lackluster BS. The fans don't give a shit anymore, and they're dropping the ball on it
in general too. And that's what's making the attendance so bad too. They make this. They make this before fucking SmackDown, or after SmackDown, when it should be before SmackDown. That's the problem. That's probably why their attendance is so bad too. They don't want to sit through 3 hours of fucking filming television every week.
It's also in a way, it's
probably not helping their case.
It's kind of like if WCW back in the day was like telling guys like Mysterio and them to go out and have a match like Hogan and Savage when you go out there, because you're in the big time now, pal. You can't work like that anymore. Imagine that.
Dude, that stuff, strengths and rest holds and headlocks. Wow.
Listen to your audience, pal.
Yeah, like he ever does. feel like half the time we fall on fucking deaf ears. It's like talking to a wall online sometimes.
It's a hot take. It's a damn hot take right there. Let's get to main event time. Oh wait, first the PowerPoint presentation, Logan. That went too long.
Yes, Drew Gulak had another PowerPoint presentation, which, like I said earlier in the show, he was booed and said it was boring by all the fans in the crowd that stayed.
Yep.
Again,
but that was
reason.
He played with it, and I think that was meant to happen.
It worked. It did work. What Drew Gulak did, he played off of it, which was, you were right, and it made sense. It kind of, to me, is basically Drew Gulak's character on 205 Live. What during this segment was, he was a cocky, smart ass heel, and I enjoyed it. The only thing is, this is not, and I repeat, this is not going to give the fans a reason to stay after SmackDown and watch this fucking show.
No.
Exactly.
Nope. Not at all.
And
I agree.
I mean, this guy, here's the thing, I said this before, this guy should be the next Dean Malenko or some type of that, and he's booked to be a fucking geek.
He could be a Dean Malenko having a baby with Steven Richards.
Yep.
There you go.
He's a fucking dude. Like, have you seen his Evolve work? He's a fucking machine, dude.
He really is.
Like, his match with Zack Sabre Jr. is like one of my favorite matches on the Cruiserweight Classic because he's just so intense, dude.
And is it true, like, Travis, I think you said this to me, that Drew Gulak was actually supposed to be a trainer in the WWE?
I don't know if I said that. I've never heard that. I do know that this gimmick that he's doing right now, this he kind of did that, and he had the same gimmick when he was in CZW for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you remember that. Kind of. It's tweaked to fit what he's working with now.
Definitely
it's the same
tweaked.
concept.
It's the same concept, but at least in the ring, he should be a fucking ruthless motherfucker, at the very least.
Yeah.
Like, that's
we
my
need to see
opinion.
that. Like, he can do this hokiness and this irritating Captain Underpants shit, but it needs to get edgy eventually, and it just never happens. But hopefully they see it.
The only edgy part of Drew Gulak recently is what he did to Tozawa with his throat, and that's the only thing that I've seen. And the funniest thing that I've seen in Drew Gulak's character recently is when he allowed Mustafa Ali to hit the high-flying spot on Enzo after Monday Night Raw.
And the only thing edgy they've given him is tired, played-out 1980s fucking garbage. At this point, you can't... I mean, you can... they just did it so basic, vanilla, like, fuck. It made it not have an edge, really, the way they did it. It's just kind of dumb. So popular. But main event time, guys. Kalisto and his partner, Mustafa Ali. I had to remember for a second. Sorry. Mufasa Ali against Enzo and his partner, Logan, this week. That I can't remember.
Arya Davari.
Arya Davari. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad it's main event time. Nothing really happened in match. Nothing happened in match for me. After the match, after Kalisto got the win, I believe, that little dive when he beat the shit out of Enzo, that was probably the highlight of this. The match didn't really stand out for me, Logan.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was an okay tag team. It's we've seen better tag team matches itself on the main card, main roster, 205. We've seen better.
Kalisto yelled a lot, though. Like, he kept
yelling, he did.
Like, Jesus Christ, Kalisto, calm down. But
the only thing that for me personally, that it even got over or got like a pop out of me was the aggressive side that he showed after the match. And that's sad because it should have been shown inside the ring during the match.
Where people would have given a shit.
Like, give me a reason why I want to see this title match this Sunday at TLC, and you didn't give me any inch of reason why I should watch this match. And again, Enzo Amore versus Kalisto will not be a kickoff show match. And I think that also plays into the fact, I know we fucking beat this with a dead horse. This is probably another reason why Neville was frustrated with the booking, because he had to go on kickoff show matches for like 3 out of the 4 matches against Austin Aries, and all of a sudden Kalisto is a big enough star to be in a title match against Enzo Amore for the Cruiserweight title in a pay-per-view that's not on the kickoff.
Well, that match will probably get put on the DVD at least. I think that was more of Neville's qualm about royalties too.
It's, to me, sad, and it just because Neville was goddamn talented and Austin Aries is talented, and these two put on great matches, in my opinion, when they feuded. So why, in my opinion, why is Enzo? What gives them the right to say that Enzo is a better, or the way they treat and book? Enzo is not that good in the ring. He's just good on the mic.
I don't even think that the fact that Neville even left the division, that was still no excuse for me to just totally scratch that whole anti-Enzo storyline. I think there was something in that. I don't think it was like total money, but it was getting eyes. It was an interest. Now it's just like this mishmashed fucking nonsense stable that makes no sense, James.
Yeah, no, I fucking agree. It's the fact that you have like I don't even know who's in the stable. Like, if like, and it's not like it's a bunch of nobodies because I know who they are, but it's like people would know who the fuck these guys are. This fucking entourage that he now all of a sudden has. Like, no one knows who the fuck Tony Nese is. Why is Gulak all of a sudden the guy he called Captain Underpants was a part of his fucking entourage?
The guy that would go on Twitter in character and put out this great shit that was anti-Enzo, man. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was awesome when he was doing that. Now, I don't know. The only guy in this stable that makes sense is because he has that kind of party boy mentality is Noam Dar, I would say. If any of them. Maybe the Fari, too.
You know exactly why they have these guys in like a stable now. You guys know why. Survivor Series is coming up.
Well,
they got to have a cruiserweight Survivor Series style match.
They don't think that far ahead anymore. Honestly, I don't think.
Oh, I think they are for this. I think they have the Survivor Series plans for the cruiserweight title already set in stone. The only thing is who's going to come to Mustafa Ali and Kalisto's side, because
the other 4 fucking guys on the roster.
You can't because Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann is
and then all of a sudden Jack and Brian Kendrick could like be a part of Enzo's entourage next. So they might as well just do heels versus faces at this point. No one gives a shit.
A few other guys, and that's why I think we're gonna get Survivor Series a Rey Mysterio return, and that's another bold prediction for me.
Yikes.
I wish. But this is what I'll say. And
mention Rey Mysterio to start off the show during his promo. We also forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah, he always likes to talk about Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and all that. And like, dude,
Enzo did.
Wow.
Enzo mentioned Rey.
I mentioned Rey.
I did catch that. They've been putting Rey up on their YouTube too. I saw in like a top 10 or something with him on the thumbnail. I was like, what?
They want him back. That's basically what's coming down to. They want him back. I hope Rey actually stays away from WWE. I think he deserves.
I wish he would just honestly, and I don't mean this cynical. I wish he would just hang it up because of his injuries. He's a shell of how he used to work. He's just gonna get hurt more.
No, actually, you'd be surprised. He's been putting on fucking clinics. He put on an amazing match with Will Ospreay.
He's also not been on the road fucking 100 some days a year like he's gonna be. Probably. Yeah,
that's
would
what
he be part time? Would he?
He might. He might be part time. But here's the thing.
I think this could add a new element to the cruiserweight division, and also give it another reason why it could be like in a main event type scenery on Raw. Is have a big name like a Rey Mysterio. We've said this plenty of times on the show before.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
I wanna say one thing, and this is the one thing I'll say though. The reason why I don't want Rey in here is because I'm afraid it's going to be the same fucking booking for him like everyone else on the cruiserweight division, and I think the dude deserves so much better than that. If guys like Fabian Eichner, who was in the Cruiserweight Classic, literally gained fucking weight because he knew this is going to go fucking nowhere. Like, it's a fucking problem.
Wait
That's
a minute.
all I'm gonna
I had to
say
think
at
through
that.
Fabian Ike. He's that bald guy who works like Rob Van Dam does in NXT now.
Yes, he had a really good showing against Cassius Ohno, actually. Like
Yes, I saw that
he
match.
was fucking nuts,
Also,
dude. He went
speaking of
fucking
NXT,
ape
Lars
shit.
Sullivan and fucking what's his face are killing it right now. I love it, man.
Lars Sullivan.
Yes.
I want to see a match between specifically between Fabian Eichner and Lars Sullivan, because I think that has a prospect to be a really good match. Like, I never think when Lars Sullivan first got his like push where he was like beating up the fucking tag teams, I'm like, this isn't totally anti NXT. I'm not sure about this. And then, like, as the character developed, I'm like, oh, this dude's fucking great. I love Lars now. He's got a future if they don't fuck him up like
He
they did Braun.
looks like a fucking wrestler, and that's all you can really ask in a guy.
Oh yeah, he definitely looks the part, and he's very athletic. He reminds me of fucking Lesnar when he first showed up, just fucking throwing guys around like they're nothing, and just fucking being able to powerbomb, and he reminds me a lot about like a young Brock Lesnar. Cuts better promos too.
But guys, what is our final grade around the board? That was NXT this week, closing out with intense Kalisto staring down Enzo. I got to give it a flat out fucking C-. It did not do anything for me.
I gave it a
stagnating. D. It's stagnating.
D- for me.
Logan.
Hang on. You both gave it a C-. I'm giving it the D, something that Colin cannot give any of the women. I said it before and I'll say it again.
Will you be serious? Jesus. Flat out giving it the D, though, from Logan this week. Hey, James, man, I want to thank you so much because it's been a blast, man. It's been a really good show. Thanks again, buddy. Where can everyone check you out? All that good stuff.
Check me out on J Hebert Side 95. That's JHEBERT Side 95. Right there on YouTube.com is my podcast called The Pro Wrestling Roundtable. You can check that out, as well as my custom theme works and custom Titantron works. I will be posting on my YouTube channel probably very soon a little verse I did for KSI song Creature. So that will actually be popping up, so make sure to look out for that. Also check out my other show that I do, the Aftershock Corner, on my friend Owen's channel, Wrestling Fortune 44. That's Wrestling Fortune and number 44. You can also check out this podcast that I do with these guys every once in a while, obviously the Cruise Control. Definitely give Hibiki a subscribe. And last but certainly not least, make sure you check out my CIW wrestling show, Weymouth Youth Wrestling, also on YouTube.com. That is 2 words, by the way, Weymouth. And then youth wrestling is like another word. That's it.
And shout out to James Hebert. Thanks for coming on, sir. Hopefully, my next great debate show next month. Maybe me and you could have go at it with a couple topics.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'd be totally fine to be on.
Which you can catch on Future Wrestling Podcast on your channel, Logan. Go ahead. Mr. 205 Live, the other half Cruise Control. Where can everyone check you out? And the new co-host for Slam Pigs post shows.
Travis, what did you call me earlier? My introduction?
The harbinger of Hot Pockets, the savior of Slim Jims, the crown prince of pizzerias, the owner of Logie's Hoagies, Logan Myers.
Thank you. I know I deserve that. Thank you.
Yes,
James, this is your time where you get on your hands and knees and you bow down to me, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
you guys can check me out.
Bow down to the Burger King.
I definitely will bow down to you, but I will not be like Colin and suck your dick. Sorry, Colin, love you, man, but I don't swing that way.
Shots
Hot
fired.
I don't even swing that way, but I think he would. You guys can check me out. You guys can check me out on Twitter at Logan Myers 1144. Check out Future Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Go like, subscribe, and just enjoy the product that we're giving out. Shout out to Michael, Mr. Slam Pigs himself.
Did you say the
Can't
slut
wait for
pig?
your birthday this
You almost
Sunday.
said the slut pig. That's
you guys can go check out the great debate between me and Mike when we go at it about NXT's future, past, present, and of course, like I said, future. Travis, next week, the big number 20.
Yes, sir. Slut pigs aside, next week, number 20, the big one. Look out for that. As always, you can check me out on Twitter at TheHibikity. Check out Slam Pigs Podcast, this, Cruise Control, the Reset Button, and K-Faith Today Podcast the first thing in the morning. Until next week, James, Logan, thank you, buddies. See you next week right here on Slam Pigs Cruise Control. Have a good one.